What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I got the start of our 2022 NBA Draft Player Breakdown series, where we're going to be looking at some of the top prospects in this year's draft class. First up for me that I'm going to be covering is Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren is one of the more polarizing players maybe in draft history. There seems to be a ton of differing opinions on him. Some people think he's got potential to be the biggest bust of this year's draft class, and some people think that he has the highest ceiling in this year's draft and he can be someone who could be a multiple-time All-Star and a top player in the league. And so I'm going to talk about Chet. I'm going to be talking about strengths, weaknesses, all that. And so with that being said, let's get into the video. So just a little bit about Chet. Chet is a 7-foot center who weighs maybe 195, 200 pounds. It kind of depends on where you look. But Chet is originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota. He played his 1 year of college ball at Gonzaga, where he had a very good freshman campaign. Averaged about 14 points and 10 rebounds a game. Shot the ball very effectively from the floor, shooting about 60% overall from the field, almost 40% from three, and was a huge factor on the defensive side of the ball, averaging almost 4 blocks a game. And so Chet was a very productive player at Gonzaga. He impacted the game in a number of ways, and overall was a good player on one of the top teams in the country, and was a consistent player for him in their rotation. So he had a great freshman campaign. I think he achieved what he wanted at Gonzaga and got out of it what he needed to get out of it. And now Chet will be trying his luck in the NBA draft. So when looking at the strengths of Chet Holmgren, I think that he's a very unique prospect who has a very unique skill set. But I think the biggest strength for Chet Holmgren is his combination of size and skill. He's a 7-footer who can do a bit of everything on the basketball court, on both sides of the ball. Starting on the offensive side of the ball, he's someone who is 7 foot, who can handle the ball, he can shoot the ball, he has a soft touch around the rim, he has the ability to be a lob target, and I think he has got the ability to play multiple positions on the offensive side of the ball. Now, kind of going a little bit further into all that, in terms of his ability to handle the ball, he's a 7-footer who I think is very capable in today's NBA of being able to grab the rebound and push the ball in transition. I don't think he's the type of player who is going to be consistently playing out on the wing and beating wing type defenders off the dribble consistently. But I think if you match up a center or sometimes even today's 4-man on him, I think he is able to handle the ball well enough and is a good enough athlete where he can beat them off the dribble and do that on a pretty consistent basis. Now, that kind of flows into his shooting ability, which I think a lot of his game will be based off of. He's someone who at 7 foot tall has a very fluid looking shooting stroke. He almost shot 40% from 3 at Gonzaga. One part of his 3-point game that he struggled with was actually pick and pop situations. And so I believe that number will improve once he gets to the pro level and he has very good point guard play, or assuming he does, who are able to find him in those situations. I think that number will go up and eventually he's going to be someone who can shoot a plus 40% from 3. And so just overall, you combine his ball handling ability, his ability to shoot, then you throw in the fact that he's still a good enough athlete where he can be someone you could just stick in the dunker spot and let him be a lob target and hang around the rim and grab offensive rebounds and putbacks and things of that nature. I think he's very capable of being someone that could do that as well. And so offensively, you have a very complete player in Chet Holmgren. Now, defensively, Chet Holmgren is an elite shot blocker. He's someone who has impeccable timing. He knows how to maintain verticality while still being a shot blocker, and it shows in his stats with someone who almost averaged 4 blocks a game. Teams still tried him at the rim, and more often than not, he was able to either block a shot or affect a shot or change shots, which is something that's very important in today's game. I think he also offers some flexibility in terms of which position he can guard. I think he can guard today's 4s. It'll be interesting to see as he matures how much weight he's able to put on, and if he's able to guard some of the 5s. I just don't think he's able to guard someone like Joel Embiid right now, but he can guard today's 3 or 4s, and I think occasionally he can guard a 3. He's got enough length, and I think he's got decent enough quickness where he could at least stay with 3s. I don't think he's going to be consistently matched up with them, but I think he can hold his own from time to time on that end of the floor. Now, looking at the weaknesses of Chet, I think the biggest and the most obvious weakness for Chet is his weight. He's 7 foot tall. He's maybe 200 pounds, like I said in the intro, I believe. Kind of depends on where you look, but 200 pounds at 7 foot tall is very scary, and it's just a huge question mark in terms of how much more weight can he put on. He has narrow shoulders, which normally kind of suggests that he can't put on too much more weight. Normally you're looking for the guy with wide shoulders who has the frame to put on a ton of weight, and so it'd be interesting to see how much weight he's able to put on and what does he look with another 30-40 pounds. Is he the same level of athlete? Is he as fluid as he used to be? We've seen someone like Anthony Davis who, as he's kind of bulked up, especially this last year, he's just not the same level of player. And so it'll be interesting to see how that progresses for him. Is he able to put on weight, one? And if he is, how does that affect his game? Is he the same level of athlete? Does he move with the same fluidity? Those are huge question marks for him. And then offensively and defensively, it's just going to be questions of how is he going to be used, and is he going to be used in the right way. He's just such a unique talent. I think he's got to go to a place that lets him play his game and doesn't force him to be someone who goes on the block as a center or is forced to guard other team centers if he's not physically ready. I think he needs to go to the right situation, someone that's able to let him play his game and just go from there. Overall, like I said in the intro, Chet is one of the more polarizing players maybe ever in draft history, and I'm pretty torn on what I think he can be at the NBA level. I think that his skill set is just so unique, and he's so talented on both sides of the ball that I would hate to see that go to waste. But there's just something about his weight, he's got a weird kind of hunchback kind of thing going on, and it's just pretty scary. I think it's going to take, like I said, the right team in the right situation for him to be successful. I think he's got the skill set to be successful in today's NBA. It's just going to be a matter of how he's used, and is he going to be used in the right way. Overall, I think it would be insane for him not to be a top 3 pick, and I still think he's in play to be the number 1 overall pick because I do think his upside is that high. But it will be interesting to see where he goes and how this kind of draft process plays out for him. And so leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of Chet, his game, all that. Where do you think he's going to go? Leave those thoughts in the comment section below. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys later.